Good evening, everyone. My name is Brielle Roche, and tonight I'll be recapping the hottest news from the sporting world. We'll be breaking down a huge comeback win for the men's basketball team, a major MLB roster move involving Nick Castellanos, and the latest NFL news surrounding Tyreek Hill. Then I'll be joined by our two debaters, Sam Stinson and Tyler Seabreeze, for our final segment, Anchor Point. Let's get started. Welcome back to Hall Zone. We begin tonight with an exciting moment for Seton Hall's men's basketball, as the Pirates delivered a strong and determined comeback on the road, defeating Butler 63-56 in a key Big East matchup Sunday night. The game took place at Hinkle Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, and it was a performance that showcased the toughness, resilience, and identity that the Seton Hall team has been building all season. With the regular season winding down and conference standings becoming more important than ever, this was exactly the kind of win the Pirates needed. From the opening tip, it was clear that this game was going to be a physical and defensive battle. Both teams came out with energy, and neither side was able to create much separation early on. Seton Hall focused on controlling the tempo and limiting Butler's scoring opportunities, while the Bulldogs tried to disrupt the Pirates' rhythm offensively. The result was a low-scoring first half that featured multiple lead changes and strong defensive efforts on both ends of the floor. Even though Seton Hall showcased flashes of offensive efficiency, Butler was able to inch ahead and take a narrow 24-23 lead into halftime. For the Pirates, that one-point deficit did not reflect how competitive they had been. Instead, it showed that they were still within striking distance and only needed a spark to shift the momentum in their favor. At halftime, the focus for Seton Hall was clear: continue playing strong defense, move the ball, and take advantage of scoring opportunities. That spark came in the second half, led by guard A.J. Stanton-McCray, who stepped up in one of the biggest moments of the season. Stanton-McCray finished with a game high of 19 points, and what made his performance even more impressive was the timing. 15 of those points came in the second half, when the Pirates needed leadership and scoring the most. His confidence and determination changed the pace of the game and energized his teammates. The second half progressed, the Pirates began to find their rhythm. Stanton-McCray attacked at the basket, knocked down key shots, and created momentum on both ends of the floor. One of the biggest moments came late in the game when he hit a clutch three-pointer with just over 4 minutes remaining. That shot gave Seton Hall the lead and shifted the energy completely. From that point forward, the Pirates stayed composed and never looked back. But what made this victory especially meaningful was the team effort behind it. Seton Hall's depth and balance were on full display, as several players made important contributions in critical moments. With Mike Williams, the third proved a major boost off the bench, scoring 10 points and delivering key baskets that helped extend the lead late in the game. His energy and scoring ability were crucial in maintaining momentum. Adam "Bud" Clark also played a significant role in the win, finishing with 8 points and 7 assists. His ability to control the offense, distribute the ball, and make smart decisions under pressure allowed Seton Hall to stay organized and focused. Clark's leadership on the court ensured that the Pirates executed their game plan and avoided costly mistakes during their final minutes. Another major factor in the win was Seton Hall's defense, which has become a defining strength of the team. The Pirates held Butler to just 30% shooting from the field, forcing tough shots and limiting second chances opportunities. Throughout the second half, defensive stops fueled offensive runs, allowing Seton Hall to take control of the game. The Pirates closed the contest on a strong run, showing discipline and composure in a challenging road environment. This victory also represented growth for the team. Earlier in the season, Butler defeated Seton Hall at home, making this win feel like a redemption for the Pirates. It also demonstrated how much the team has developed over time, particularly in late-game situations. Instead of panicking when they fell behind, Seton Hall remained calm, trusted its system, and executed it when it mattered most. The leadership and philosophy of head coach Sheehan Holloway were clearly reflected in this performance. Since taking over the program, Holloway has emphasized toughness, accountability, and defense. This game was a perfect example of that identity. The Pirates showed mental strength, played physical basketball, and stayed focused, even when the pressure increased. Those qualities are essential as the season moves closer to a postseason play. Momentum is everything in college basketball, and this win could be a turning point as teams across the conference fight for positioning. A road victory against a conference opponent carries significant weight. It also builds confidence and belief, which can be just as important as talent during the final stretch of the season. For Seton Hall fans like myself, this game offered plenty of reason for excitement. The Pirates not only secured an important win, but also showed that they have multiple players who can step up in big moments. Whether it's scoring, defense, or leadership, this team continues to demonstrate versatility and resilience. Looking ahead, the Pirates will try to build on this momentum as they prepare for their next Big East matchup against Georgetown Hoyas. That game will provide another opportunity for Seton Hall to strengthen its standing and continue its push toward the postseason. The focus will remain on strong defense, balanced scoring, and maintaining the confidence gained from this comeback victory. If the Pirates can continue to perform at this level, they could become a dangerous team down the stretch. The combination of experienced leadership, emerging young talent, and a defensive mindset makes Seton Hall a team to keep your eye on in the coming weeks. For now, though, this was a statement win, one that highlighted the heart of determination of the Pirates. The comeback on the road, clutch performances from key players, and a commitment to defense all came together in a game that could define their season moving forward. In preparation for the spring season finally creeping around the corner, we turn to Major League Baseball, where one of the more surprising offseason moves has Phillies fans talking. Veteran outfielder Nick Castellanos was released from the Philadelphia Phillies after several seasons with the club, signing a one-year deal with the San Diego Padres. The move brings a fresh start for Castellanos and adds another experienced bat to the Padres lineup that continues to reshape its identity. Castellanos had been a key part of the Phillies organization since joining the team ahead of the 2022 season. Over his time in Philadelphia, he had become known for his durability, power, and ability to perform in big moments. Because of that, this decision did come as a surprise to some fans and analysts, especially since he played such an important role during the Phillies' recent competitive run. However, the move also reflects the business side of baseball, where teams are constantly looking to adjust their roster, salary flexibility, and long-term direction. During his time in Philadelphia, Castellanos contributed both offensively and as a clubhouse presence. He was part of a Phillies core that made deep postseason runs and helped keep the team competitive in a tough national league. While his performance fluctuated at times, he remained a reliable source of power and run production. In recent seasons, he delivered key hits, drove in important runs, and often played through injuries, earning respect from teammates and fans alike. The Phillies, meanwhile, have continued to perform at a high level and remain one of the most competitive teams in the league. Their recent success has been built on strong pitching, a powerful lineup, and veteran leadership. Castellanos played an important role in that success, especially during the postseason, where his ability to rise in big moments helped energize the team and the fan base. Even when his regular season numbers dipped, he found ways to contribute when it mattered most. Still, Philadelphia has made it clear that it is looking toward the future, and this move opens up opportunities for younger players, while also giving the team more flexibility moving forward. It even signals a shift in roster strategy as they continue to pursue championships and maintain a balanced lineup. For Castellanos, the move to San Diego represents a fresh start and a chance to reinvent himself. The Padres are hoping his experience and offensive production will strengthen their lineup and provide stability. One of the most interesting aspects of this deal is the possibility that Castellanos could take on a new role with the Padres, including playing first base. This potential position change shows the team's willingness to be creative and flexible, and it highlights Castellanos' commitment to helping the team in any way possible. The contract itself is a one-year deal, giving both parties an opportunity to evaluate the fit. For Castellanos, it provides a chance to rebuild and value and prove that he can perform at a high level. For the Padres, it is a low-risk move with a high potential reward. If he returns with drive and determination, the team gains a proven veteran hitter who can contribute immediately. Analysts have also pointed out that Castellanos' strengths could translate well in San Diego. He is known for his aggressive approach at the plate and his ability to drive the ball to all fields, and his confidence in high-pressure situations. The Padres have been looking to add leadership to post-season experience, and Castellanos brings both. His work ethic and competitive mindset are qualities that could help set the tone for younger players. Another factor is the environment. A change of scenery can often help veteran players rediscover their rhythm. and Castellanos has expressed excitement about the opportunity. San Diego offers a new coaching staff, new teammates, and a new ballpark, all of which could contribute to a strong bounce-back season. Fans and experts have been discussing how he will fit into the Padres lineup. With their mix of star talent and developing players, Castellanos could provide balance and protection in the batting order. His presence may also reduce pressure on younger hitters, while also giving the team another dependable option in late-game situations. For the Padres, this move reflects a broader strategy of staying competitive in a challenging division. They continue to look for experienced players who can make an immediate impact without committing to long-term contracts. Castellanos fits that mold perfectly, and if the partnership works, it could benefit both sides. Meanwhile, for Phillies fans, this is a bittersweet moment. Castellanos was more than just a player. He was part of a team that brought excitement back to Philadelphia baseball. His memorable performances, emotional intensity, and clutch hits created moments that fans will remember. While the organization moves forward, his contributions will remain an important chapter in the team's recent history. As this season approaches, this move will be closely watched across the league. It's always a reminder that baseball is always evolving, and new opportunities can change the direction of a player's career. For now, Castellanos gets his fresh start, the Padres gain a proven veteran, and Phillies fans say goodbye to a familiar face.
For all, forever. A promise that began 170 years ago and still guides us today. A legacy of knowledge, faith, and transformation, born of vision, built on community. We are one university with one mission, to create an immensity of future good, as Mother Seton once hoped, to prepare minds, to open doors, to lead with compassion. This is Seton Hall. Driven by purpose, united by faith, reason, and possibility. And now, a campaign to elevate every Setonian, for all, forever. A historic goal to touch every corner of our university and every member of our community. We prepare leaders through scholarship. We enrich education through immersive experience and global reach. We strengthen our cornerstones with academic excellence, research, and faith. Because every gift touches every student, today and for generations to come. For opportunity, for discovery, for community. Join us in shaping the next 170 years. For all, forever. A campaign for a greater Seton Hall.
Staying in the world of professional sports, Nick Castellanos isn't the only player who was recently up for grabs. In the NFL, one of the league's most explosive player makers is now officially on the market, as star wide receiver Tyreek Hill has been released by the Miami Dolphins, instantly becoming one of the biggest free agents available. The move comes after several impactful seasons in Miami and has shocked fans and analysts across the league, especially given how important Hill had been to the Dolphins' offensive success. Hill joined Miami in 2022 after being traded from the Kansas City Chiefs. And the moment he arrived, he transformed the Dolphins' offense. Over the past few seasons, he became the centerpiece of one of the most explosive passing attacks in football. His speed, playmaking ability, and leadership helped elevate the team's identity and turned Miami into a serious contender in the AFC. Because of that, many fans did not expect the Dolphins to move on from him so soon, making this release a major headline around the NFL. During his time in Miami, Hill consistently delivered elite production. He recorded multiple 1,000-yard receiving seasons, produced highlight reel plays, and forced defenses to completely change their game plans. His connection with quarterback Tua Tagovailoa was one of the most exciting in the league, as the two developed strong chemistry and helped the Dolphins build a high-powered offense built on speed and creativity. The Dolphins' recent performance as a team also reflects Hill's impact. Over the last few seasons, Miami has been competitive in the AFC, making playoff appearances and remaining in the conversations among the league's most dangerous offenses. Hill played a key role in that success, not only through his statistics, but also by opening opportunities for other players. His presence allowed teammates to face less defensive pressure, creating more balance and unpredictability for the offense. However, injuries and long-term planning appear to have played a decision in the Dolphins' decision. Hill has been dealing with a recent injury that passed and raised concerns about durability and his future availability. While the details of his recovery continue to develop, teams across the league are closely monitoring his health as they consider potential offers. Even with the injury, his talent and experience make him one of the most attractive free agents on the market. From Miami's perspective, this move also signals a shift toward the future. The team has been building a younger core and managing salary considerations while trying to stay competitive in a tough AFC landscape. Releasing Hill provides financial flexibility and opens the door for new offensive strategies, although it leaves a major gap in their lineup. For Hill, the focus now turns onto what comes next. Analysts and fans are already speculating about potential landing spots. Several teams in need of a dynamic playmaker could benefit from his speed and veteran leadership. Contenders looking for one more offensive weapon, teams with young quarterbacks, and organizations hoping to boost their playoff chances are all being discussed as possible destinations. Some experts believe a team with a strong quarterback and established offensive system would be the best fit, allowing Hill to immediately return to his high level of production. Others think a younger team could use him as a mentor and foundational piece as they build toward the future. Regardless of the destination, Hill's ability to stretch defenses and create big plays make him valuable in almost any offensive scheme. This move also highlights the business side of the NFL. Even star players can become available as teams balance performance, injuries, and financial planning. For Dolphins fans, this is a bittersweet moment. Hill brought excitement, energy, and unforgettable plays to Miami, helping shape one of the most entertaining offenses in recent franchise history. His speed and playmaking ability created some of the most memorable moments for the team in recent years. At the same time, this change creates new opportunities. The Dolphins will look to adjust their offensive approach and continue building around their core. Younger players may have the chance to step into larger roles, and the organization will continue to search for ways to stay competitive in the AFC. As for Hill, this could be a fresh start. A change of scenery often brings renewed motivation, and many players have found success after joining new teams later in their careers. If he can return to full health, he has the potential to make an immediate impact and help another franchise pursue a championship. But for now, all eyes are on Tyreek Hill as he begins the next chapter of his career. Whether he joins a contender, helps a developing young team, or reunites with a familiar system, fans across the league will be watching closely. After this break, stick with us while we transition to our next segment, Anchor Point. My name is Brielle Roche, and stay tuned for more. Welcome back to Anchor Point, the official debate show of Hall Zone. I'm Brielle Roche, joined by Sam Stinson and Tyler Seabreeze. And our first topic up for debate, who's the best team in the Big 12 Conference?
So this is obviously a difficult question, even though we chose it. It's you could basically say anyone here and give a good reason on why they're the best team in the Big 12. I personally believe that it is Texas Tech. In terms of Big 12 rankings, they're not obviously the highest, but in a stacked conference like this, I love the duo of Christian Anderson and JT Toppin. I mean, I think they're the best dynamic duo in the country, to be honest with you. JT Toppin, 21 points per game, 11 rebounds. He's efficient, got 55% from the field, 16 double-doubles on the season, which is some of the most in the country. Christian Anderson, on the other hand, 19 points per game, 7.7 assists, shooting 47% from the field, 43% from three. I love how they play ball together. It's the second year that they are together. They're only going to get better. Hard-fought OT win against Arizona, dominated BYU in the middle of January. And people forget this, but they also beat Duke around Christmas time. Duke obviously is being Duke, has one of the best players in the country. Their only one unranked loss was against a UCF team, which was most recently, it was recent in time. And I personally think this UCF team is pretty good. They're very sneaky good, and that one loss I don't think defines them as a team.
Absolutely.
And another player, Donovan Atwell. I love Donovan Atwell. He is to use a John Fanta quote, he's a microwave type of player. Gets hot quick, 45% from three. The those 3 players right there, I mean, it's their whole team. I think they're great, and that's why I think they're the best team in the Big 12.
Yeah, I mean, like you just said, though, at the end, their whole team is 3 players, and I don't think that's going to help you get it done. That's why I went with Iowa State. I think Iowa State is the best team in the country, and coming off a hard-fought win last night against the Houston Cougars when they trailed by 10. They have Taman Lipsey, who obviously was the star for Iowa State last year, and Iowa State was a great team last year. An elite head coach in TJ Otzelberger, who took over the team when they had 2 wins back in 2022, turned them all the way around, and now has them at the number 2 team in the country. The style of play that they have defensively, that they can run for 40 minutes, obviously they can run a man press for 20 minutes. They're just very well conditioned, and then they're one of 3 teams in the entire country that is top 10 in offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency, which I think makes them stand out as well. And your point with Texas Tech, you know, the dynamic duo with Christian Anderson and JT Toppin. My thing is, 1, they cannot shoot free throws, which they really struggle with, and 2, when JT Toppin gets in foul trouble, which happens a lot against bigger teams, which is going to be very important, obviously, within their conference, but as well as in March, they struggle. They don't have a backup big. They lack depth, and I think that's where Iowa State kind of comes together, as I think they're better coached, because I don't really like Grant McAllister. He's not a great coach, and I think that's where they lack.
Here's the thing about Iowa State that I can't really get away from is they have 3 players in double digits, with Milan Momkilovic. Sorry, it's a tough name.
Yeah.
It's a tough name to pronounce. He's averaging 18 on 54% shooting, which you can't argue that's amazing. 2 other players averaging 10 points plus. If 2 or 1 of those players is not shooting well, you got to rely on other players on your team.
Absolutely.
And of those players on those teams, I don't think I could trust them enough to battle it out in March against these good teams, especially when we get to the Big 12 conference tournament. I don't think they're going to be that good enough. I will say their press defense that they play is some of the best defense in the country. They didn't look great against TCU. They only scored 55 points, which is pretty abysmal. 23% from 3 in that game, which that just can't happen in March.
No.
They had a great win against Houston yesterday, so we'll see. They have to stay consistent.
Yeah, I think both teams have been battle tested as well. Like you've listed Texas Tech's notable wins. The one that stands out to me from Texas Tech is that Duke game. But I feel like Duke more than less lost that game than Texas Tech won it.
Agreed.
But my thing with Iowa State is the fact that I didn't even name Joshua Jefferson, which honestly is ridiculous of me to not name it. If Cam Boozer was not playing this year, Joshua Jefferson would be in Player of the Year talks, and I think he's very underlooked. And then I think you bring up the fact that Iowa State has only 3 scorers in double digits, but the style of play that they run, they spread the ball around. They run a 9-man rotation, and Nate Heisey he comes off the bench, but he played, like last night he played 27 minutes. He plays at least 25 minutes a game. And the way that they play defense and the way they rebound the ball, it's just a collective effort.
Yeah, I don't know about that Joshua Jefferson, the best player in college basketball, Karen Boozer, but I do agree with the other takes there. We'll see, man. I mean, it's an unpredictable season, in my opinion. It's a very, very top-heavy Big 12 conference, so this tournament is definitely going to be the one to watch come March.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And honestly, on the topic of the Big 12 conference, what about the Big 10?
For the Big 10, it's kind of a lame pick, but it's got to be the Michigan Wolverines. I mean, they're the number one team. They're the number 1 team in the nation, and I feel like, for my sake, I'm lucky that I got to argue. I think the 2 best teams in the nation, and 2 teams who will probably face off in the national championship, in my opinion, just because of their style of play. Michigan, as well as Iowa State, they just have so much depth. I mean, Michigan has some of the best guard play. They have. In my opinion, they have the best front court besides North Carolina. Michigan, they have size, they have length, they have width, and once again, as I quoted, 3 teams who are top 10 in offense and defensive efficiency. Michigan is once again in that realm.
Yeah, I will get to your Michigan pick a little bit because it's hard to counter-argument the #1 team in the country. But I love Illinois basketball. I absolutely love it. I knew it in the beginning of the season. They were going to be very, very good. Yes, they have had a couple of losses recently with an overtime loss at Michigan State, which is one of the hardest places to play in the country, and a weirdly consistent Wisconsin team where they lost in overtime. Wisconsin have some weirdly very good wins here and there, and they managed to snuck one by this Illinois team. But before that, they went on a 12-game win streak this season with some notable ones like at Nebraska, who was undefeated for a ridiculous amount of time this season, and at Purdue, which is a tough place to play as well. Illinois has 5 different players averaging double digits. We just were talking about that and how that matters going into March. It just shows how much depth they have. They don't have to rely on one person. They have 5 different players that they can rely on. But more than anything, their offensive rebound is probably the best in the country. I feel like whenever I watch them play, they're always on the ball somehow in every single situation, leading the Big Ten in offensive rebounds. They're also second lowest per game in the Big Ten for turnovers, third most blocks per game, and tied for first in three-pointers made per game. Those 4 different stats, they're top 3 in the Big Ten. This team is so good at so many different things. They're just so versatile. I knew this team was going to be very good early in the season because they play a lot of European ball with six players from overseas. They play a different type of basketball there, and they're starting to bring that over and morph it into how the team plays. And with the current college basketball landscape, everything with the transfer portal and some NBA guys coming back into college basketball, which is ridiculous. And I think Illinois made a very good change in their program.
Yeah, and I think change is a good thing. And Michigan, what they did, bringing in Dusty May, was a total culture shock. And it's been beautiful for Michigan basketball. And I like both the teams that you have selected. And it comes back to one thing surrounding both those teams, and it's coaching. I do not trust Brad Underwood in the big game. And Dusty May, I absolutely do trust him. I mean, he brought Florida Atlantic to the Final Four, sent them to an incredible run. And then this Michigan team, Elliot Cadeau, has really blossomed as a three-point shooter. With North Carolina, he shot a total of 24% from beyond the arc. This year, he's shooting 37% from 3. Damari Burnett is a great inside force. Roddy Gale coming off the bench now, which we didn't really expect, has played well. Obviously, he was a starter last year under Dusty May. Yaxel Lendenberg, a phenomenal player.
Can't say enough.
He's going to
he's
get you 20 and 10 every night. And then Morez Johnson Jr., once again, just a fantastic shooter. I mean, Michigan can beat you from beyond the arc. They can go down low. They match up well with anyone because they have size, they have strength, and they have speed. And I think just the way that they play basketball, like they run half-court sets really well. They get shooters open 24/7. They can knock down free throws, which I think is also big in March. And then a big thing is they get rebounds. Like a lot of teams struggle rebounding the ball, and especially in the Big Ten. Illinois is one of those teams who can rebound the ball. Obviously, they play the Euro ball, so they play at times they play really quick, and then at times they know how to slow it down. I think Illinois has really mastered that. But I think the way Michigan matches up against them, it's just incredible, and I'm really excited to see what happens in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, I'd be lying too if I didn't say I like Michigan. I mean, as I said, they're the #1 team in the country. One thing I will say, though, they need to figure out their turnovers. That's the only thing that I really think they really need to figure out before March. They're 3rd in the Big Ten, which for the #1 team in the country, that's very unlikely. But once they figure that out, as we get closer to March, those turnovers are going to matter more, with each game having higher stakes. If they figure that out, they're going to be great. I'm very happy we picked Michigan, Illinois, because Thursday when this airs, the day after on Friday night, Michigan at Illinois. So we'll see. We will see what happens there with our 2 picks.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll definitely see who's kind of which one of you could be the correct debater in a sense
pretty much.
on that topic. Honestly, who could even be the best team in the NBA, on a bigger scale, especially with March really kicking into gear.
I'll let Sam take this one.
Okay.
All right. You could call me biased. You can say I'm playing favorites, but there's no better team right now than the New York Knicks.
Okay.
Everyone's gonna call me biased, but I'm gonna say the New York Knicks. 3 things that I love about them. 1, chemistry. Last year, this team made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Unfortunately, losing to the Pacers. They have only gotten better since then. you could talk about the Villanova Knicks all day and how they have morphed their chemistry into this team. But even past Josh, Jalen, and Mikal, you got OG Anunoby, Kat, Mitch, Deuce, who's all been just playing great together. They've seemed like they've been playing their whole careers together. Like, it's just insane. Number 2, I have depth. We've kept a very similar team, as I said, from last year. We've only gotten better. We just picked up Jose Alvarado for basically nothing, who was very sneaky on good. Grand Theft Alvarado. He's going to have great moments in the playoffs. And just after the deadline, we picked up Jeremy Schoen from the Spurs, who's had great glimpses of play there. And one last thing, the East is wide open this year.
Yeah.
Completely wide open. The only team we really have to worry about is the Detroit Pistons, who is number 1 in the East right now. Celtics are not going to be as good come playoff time with Tatum out, even though they're above us right now. And I think the Knicks match up very good against the Cavs. The window for this New York team is right now, and they cannot mess it up. This is the year for them.
Yeah, 100%.
I like how you brought up depth, and the team that I'm going to go with has tons of depth. I'm going with the San Antonio Spurs because not only do I think they have depth, I think they have the best player in the NBA. And it might be a stretch, but Victor Wembanyama, how are you going to stop him? I mean, he's 7'4". He dribbles like a guard. He plays exactly like a guard, but he can go down and body bang down low as well. And then you have Stephon Castle, who's a great talent. You have Keldon Johnson coming off the bench, he can give you 20 points every night if he used to be a starter. You have De'Aaron Fox, who's one of the quickest guards in the league, and the Spurs, they play defense. It kind of feels like Greg Popovich is still there, the way that they play defense. They really rally to the ball well, and I think just the way that they orchestrate their offense and play through Wemby, and they also run a 2-man game really well with De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama. The offense, it's very hard to stop, and then defensively, they obviously, like I said, they go after the ball, they hound you on the defensive end, and they play really fast, and they can get a bucket at any time. And I think the West has competition, but OKC, who's kind of that top dog, I mean, we saw what the Spurs did to them, and when Chet and Wemby face off against each other, Chet looks like a lost puppy. And I mean, the Spurs went 3-1 against OKC, and they kind of dominated them in all 3 wins. So, and honestly, it's not getting talked about enough. This Shai Gilgeous-Alexander injury is not a joke. Like, they held him out to the All-Star break for a reason. Like, they're being very cautious with him. Obviously, they know they can win without him.
For
but
sure.
He's a key component, and I don't know if he's going to be fully healthy. And then you bring up the fact that the East is wide open, and that is true, and I think the Pistons could end up being kind of fraudulent, but I would not count out the Boston Celtics just because they have that championship pedigree, and I think Tatum still has a chance of coming back. And I mean,
ridiculous.
And Jaylen Brown, obviously he had a terrible All-Star game, but nobody watches that anyway. And Jaylen Brown's been a top 10 player all year, so honestly, I really like I like how the Celtics match up against the Knicks. I do like the Knicks' depth, and I like the Spurs' depth. That's kind of why I picked them. But I think the Spurs match up very well against the top dog in OKC in the West, and the Rockets have kind of declined, and the Nuggets at this point are kind of just Nikola Jokic. So I really like the Spurs right now.
Yeah, I do agree with you on the Wembanyama take that he is the best player in the league right now. It's not even I don't think it's really a debate. Well, it is, but it is a debate. But yeah, but I do. Yes, Spurs have very good players. The one thing that I am holding back from them winning the West is the experience that they have.
Yeah,
they have this is going to be Wemby's first ever playoffs.
Yeah.
So he's never really felt that atmosphere before. Same with Stephon Castle. I believe this is his first playoffs. You need a lot of experience in the NBA playoffs, especially playing 7-game stretches against the exact same team. And going home and away, back and forth. It's tough, and I think if he learns that, he will definitely have success in the playoffs. It's just not going to happen right now, I don't think. And I think you are downplaying the West this year. I mean, the Rockets are ridiculous, even though KD is in a little bit of trouble right now with all that leaks and stuff. So their chemistry might be just completely out of the window. I love the Nuggets. Yes, you are right. It's basically just Nikola Jokic right now. But playoff Jamal Murray is playoff Jamal Murray. He's one of the best playoff performers ever. And the the Thunder, the Spurs are the Thunder's kryptonite, but I think they will figure it out. I mean, the Thunder, they've just coming off of an NBA championship. They will get back to that championship caliber type of team.
Yeah, I think you're right. The Spurs do lack experience, and you bring up playoff Jamal Murray, but I could say the same about De'Aaron Fox, and I think De'Aaron Fox is honestly a better player than Jamal Murray.
Wow.
So, yeah, it might be a little bit of a hot take, but De'Aaron Fox, especially in that system, the Spurs and the Nuggets are pretty comparable.
Yeah.
And then the Rockets, I mean, I just don't like what I've seen out of them over the last month. And then the Timberwolves are kind of in that conversation, but I just don't ever see the Timberwolves making it very, like, to a championship and act like really contending, just because Anthony Edwards, he's a great player, but he's inconsistent.
He's overrated. I agree with you on that.
He's very wild at times with the ball.
He's overrated.
He kind of gets in his own head as well. And then just Minnesota hasn't really made a move that's like, they really moved the needle for me. And then the Lakers, I mean, you have Luka, you have LeBron.
I forgot
but
about the Lakers.
I
completely forgot about the Lakers.
I just can't see the Lakers really doing much of anything in the playoffs. So I just think the way the Spurs play as a team, I think they're just so dynamic and they can do a lot of things other teams can't. I think the Thunder are the only comparison to how they play, and obviously we've seen what the Spurs have done to the Thunder, not just this year, but honestly in years past. Like Victor Wembanyama has been very good against Chet Holmgren and the Spurs, and the Thunder, my apologies. And Shea, honestly, at times has struggled the way that the Spurs have been able to defend him. So.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's NBA playoffs start in a couple of months, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that All-Star break. We'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully both our picks are right.
It's definitely something to look forward to in like the coming months and obviously like the coming future. And I think chemistry, I completely agree. I think chemistry is extremely important on a team, and it can 100%, it can make or break a team, and it can really like save you when you really need it.
Definitely.
So that is unfortunately all we have for today, our very heated debate. Thank you so much, Sam and Tyler, for joining us and sharing your opinions on these topics circulating around the sports world.
I'm Sam Stinson.
I'm Tyler Seabreeze.
And I'm Brielle Roche. Thank you for watching.